Welcome to the 16th season of Study with the Best, the magazine show that's all about CUNY. I'm Tina Beth Pena. When we looked at the past 15 years of episodes, we thought, wouldn't it be fun to find out what some of those people are doing today? So we're revisiting a chess grandmaster, a Vietnamese refugee turned Columbia University professor, a comedian, and so much more. But first, since Barry Mitchell has been reporting for us for 11 years, he has a lot of stories to choose from. So he decided to revisit his very first Study with the Best segment, which featured an old friend of his whose life is so exciting, she even has her own theme song.
Adventure girl, explore your world, live it fast, and make it last.
When we first met Fran Capo in 2005, the comedian, motivational speaker, author, and adventurer had just returned from a submarine trip to the wreckage site of the Titanic. We invited Fran to our CUNY TV offices for a look back.
Hopefully I'm not wearing the same thing.
The actual wreck of the Titanic.
Actual wreck of the Titanic. 15 minutes, I go. I got clearance, and next thing I knew I was on the Russian ship called the Keldysh, which is a Russian research ship. Same ship they show in the movie The Titanic, and then...
Fran, this is Keldysh. Keldysh, do you copy?
You're in a submersible, 7 feet in diameter, and you can see I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, why am I not wearing makeup? Because it's pure oxygen pumped into the submersible, and if you wear anything Vaseline-based, your lips will catch on fire. 3.5 hours later, you see the bow. I mean,
Of the Titanic.
Of the Titanic, 10 feet just from you. The engine room of the Titanic is right below us. Here's some bottles, some cups. This is the debris field of the Titanic. It's so cool to see it, and it's still, you know, I still do a lot of adventures, but the Titanic literally was, that's gonna be a hard one to beat unless I go to outer space.
And are you planning that?
No, not yet, but I've done, in 11 years, I've done a lot of adventures. I've done gladiator training in Italy, scaled a castle wall in Austria, being scuba dived with sharks.
And climbing the Great Wall of China, performing for our troops, handling snakes.
I love life. I love adventure. I always have. I always will. My philosophy is live every day as if it's your last, and one day you'll be right. You know? I do motivational speaking around the world. I've spoken on every continent. Every single one of you has something inside, a special gift. Discover what it is and let it shine.
When you do motivational speaking, what is your topic?
Well, I have a couple of topics, but the main one is dare to do it. And dare to do it and love, light, and laughter. And mainly that one is based off the 44 principles in my book, Hopeville, the City of Light, which actually hit number 11 on Amazon.
Hopeville, the City of Light, is a spiritual story about 4 people who transform a small town when an angel of light gives them a candle that reflects their inner soul and thoughts. The slim volume has caught on with church groups, students, even the prison population.
It's told in parable form, and it happens to be about a little boy who gets bullied, a widowed lady who's holding down 3 jobs, a successful businessman, an old man. They're told to do something that could change their lives and transform a town.
So you're claiming this is a divine inspiration, that you didn't write it, someone was writing it through you.
Yes, and I always feel weird about saying it, but that's actually what happened, so I'm not going to change the story of how it happened, so that's how it happened.
It wouldn't be Study with the Best if I didn't ask you about your CUNY experience. You went to Queens College.
Yes.
What do you remember?
I was an accounting and philosophy major, which was like 1 + 1 is 2. Why? And I said, and that's also where I decided that I was going to be a stand-up comic. And now, years later, I'm on the Wall of Fame with Jerry Seinfeld, Ray Romano, and Joy Behar.
And speaking of professionally funny, you have a book on how to use humor in business.
The humor approach is basically for anybody who does public speaking. This is a guide for people who have to get up, because the basic thing is this. You have to get up and do a presentation. I don't care who you are, whether you're the CEO of a company or whatever. You can make it entertaining, or you can make it boring where everybody's going, when the heck is this guy getting off stage? Yeah. People at weddings have to make a toast, and they're so scared they don't know. So I give them principles of what to do.
Welcome back, Fran.
It was great. You guys are going to love
Adventure girl, explore your world. Live it fast and make it last.
The Fran Capo formula for a happy life. Live life to the fullest, have exciting adventures, write book. And the two newest are
Hopeful City of Light and The Humor Approach, Putting Your Funny Side Up.
both available at.
FranCapo.com.
I hope it's not 11 years until we see you again.
I hope not either.
Okay, Fran Capo, and you're watching Study with the Best.
Adventure girl.
Skeery here. Skeery, where's Skeery?
Right here.
Skeery, oh, Skeery, your camera crew is here.
Oh, my people.
Why do you have a camera crew here?
I
Who's
need
that?
makeup. My old.
You do need makeup.
Well, I went to a Brooklyn college.
But
and
are they going to tape you?
yeah, they're going to take me for television.
My name is Skeery Jones from Elvis Duran and the Z Morning Zoo on Z100.
Years ago, we ran a story about a Vietnamese man who went from a refugee camp to CUNY to Harvard. He's now a Columbia University professor, and we reunited him with his CUNY mentor.
Van, it's good to see you.
Hello, Phil. Great to see you.
Come. How long has it been since you graduated, Hunter? As an old man, I'm losing track of these things.
It was 12 years ago.
12
June
years ago.
2004.
And you were at Hunter for 2 years and Hostos before that, is that?
Correct.
Time certainly flies. I'm wondering how you remember that. You seemed remarkably poised and downright professorial from the first time I met you, but I don't know if you felt that way.
No, not at all, actually. I remembered how intimidated I was when I walked into the front door of the Department of Sociology here at the Graduate Center. I was a lowly junior from Hunter College, and I was asked by a professor there, Jack Hammonds, to come and knock on the door of Phil Casanet. So imagine this incredibly accomplished sociologist sitting in his office and this undergraduate walking in asking, would you do an independent study with me? My name is Van Tran.
I remember throwing a lot of books at you. That's what I remember. And saying, go read this, go read this, go read the next thing, you know?
It was one book per week.
Oh my God.
And it's the same model I now adopt with my own undergraduate students.
Ah.
I learned it from you.
And they keep up?
Oh, they do.
Ah,
or at least they try.
So tell me about teaching at Columbia.
Well, it has been a really great experience. Wonderful students, thoughtful colleagues. One key difference I do notice among my undergraduates at Columbia compared to the CUNY undergraduates that I remembered was that CUNY undergraduates were much more diverse, ethno-racially, socioeconomically, and many of them worked full-time, whereas my students are slightly more privileged because studying and research and learning is the primary activity in which they engage, and it's such a gift to be teaching such engaging students.
Yeah, that's great. I must say that's always one of the things that you're struck by in teaching at CUNY. I've been struck by is just how busy and how committed the students are, and just how much work it took, and particularly someone like yourself. I mean, you were working pretty much full time and being important in terms of supporting your family while you were undertaking a pretty intense undergraduate program of study. So many CUNY students are living such, complicated lives of being members of families and working hard. And I'm thinking you were obviously doing that, and yet so obviously devoted to intellectual life.
Well, you will be pleased to hear that I have carried those seeds you planted when I was an undergraduate. My interest in immigration and urban inequality in the context of New York City have really become the primary interest that drive my work today.
Yes, tell me a little about your current projects.
I'm working on my first book manuscript, which really examines the neighborhood experiences of the children of immigrants, a population that you also study quite extensively, and tracing the type of environments that they grew up in and how it changes over time into young adulthood. Well, Phil, what a delight to be back at CUNY, you know, where really my journey in higher education began, not just in this office, but also at this very building, and this very endearing institution that have given me every foundation I needed to do what I do and to become a scholar and a sociologist. And I am just hoping that I could be as kind and as generous as you are to my students today, because I remembered the care and the concern and the mentoring that you provided to me, which really is a gift of a lifetime.
Well,
and for that, I'm tremendously thankful.
It's very touching to hear, and thank you for saying that. And thank you. I mean, one of the great things about this kind of work, as you now know, is having great students and having students who can help you understand the world, that you can collaborate with and work. And certainly, you know, one of the great things about teaching in CUNY is I've had, you know, some really truly remarkable students who've gone on to do great things, and I'm really glad to number you among them.
Thank you.
So that brand, Herbal Essences, went from a nothing brand that was about to go off the shelves 10 years ago to the second leading hair care in the country. My first advisory meeting that I attended was almost 8 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday. There I was, part of this amazing committee with people like Eli Wiesel and Barbara Walters and Henry Kissinger.
In 2004, we filmed chess grandmaster and City College grad Maurice Ashley. 12 years later, chess is still at the core of his world.
Basically in chess you want to control the middle of the board, because from the middle you can go in multiple directions. So these two moves have to be the two worst first moves you could possibly play. Because you're not controlling anything, you're just pushing pawns on the side. Understand? So that's why I push my pawn in the middle, put my bishop out, and I'm going to bring everything towards the middle. Because a pawn is just too valuable. Because the problem is a pawn can eventually become a queen. And you don't see it now, but you know, long term. Chess was based on war. Chess was created way back when, 1,500 years ago, from what we know, in India. And it was based on war. It was based on the foot soldiers of the infantry. The bishop was once an elephant, which they used in war. The rook were the chariots. The knight, of course, were the horsemen. So, and then you had a king, and then you had an advisor, which is the present-day queen. So this is a war game. The pawns are foot soldiers. They march down the board. They don't go backwards, because that's not what good foot soldiers do. They go into battle and they die. And it's about two sides battling each other, using their wits, using all the knowledge that they've acquired over the years, experience, and insight to try to defeat another mind, another general.
Here it is, a game that everybody knows that there are prodigies, that everybody knows that so many people sort of start playing so young, and you start playing late and yet become obsessed.
I don't know what it was. I mean, when I was 14 years old, I actually knew the rules of the game before I was 14.
Yeah.
But, you know, to say you play chess, it's ridiculous to even make the suggestion when you're thinking about professional chess. But I think
anytime you master a game, you probably see a lot of life lessons in the game. But chess really marries quite well with life in so many ways. I mean, it's a decision-making game. It is said that it often takes 40 good moves to win a game and one bad move to lose it. However, at the end of the game, you can start over. So bad decisions don't last forever. Consequences aren't fatal. It may be fatal for that game, and you hope you don't make a big enough mistake that you don't come back. But you can always set up the board again. And this is why we teach young people how to play chess, so that you can have this kind of conversation with them. You can talk to them about mistakes. You can talk about analyzing those errors and accepting those consequences, the responsibility for your decisions, and then coming back and doing a better job.
In this case, a game that I played in a tournament in Foxwoods, it gets to something like this. When great players play, it often gets to something like this.
I developed an app called Learn Chess with Maurice Ashley. It teaches the basics, the foundation of the game, so anyone can just pick it up and learn. I've written a few books. The Most Valuable Skills of Chess is one. Chess for Success is another. I also have a series of books called Pawn More, which are basic puzzle exercises for those who want to improve their visualization. I've been a commentator on the world chess scene. I am one of the commentators for the Grand Chess Tour, which is a tour of the best chess players in the world, going from place to place. I have a big tournament, the Millionaire Chess Open, and that is a tournament that I organize, the most high-stakes chess tournament in the world. We get all these chess players from all around the world, all these grandmasters coming in to play in the event, and also a lot of amateurs playing in the event. It's the way I'm trying to build a profile of chess and really reward chess players for their efforts. My job now is more ambassadorial. I'm a tutor, right? I'm a coach, I'm an organizer, I'm a commentator, I'm a writer, I'm an app developer, I do DVDs. I toured Kenya, South Africa, and Madagascar. I spent 3 weeks doing that. And in each place I went to, I got to speak to the chess players there. I got to go to a few of the poorer areas where they're teaching chess to young people whose challenge is, frankly, having clean water. To be able to be in a place like that and talk to those kids and inspire those kids was incredible for me. I mean, it was really a life-changing experience. Chess reflects the personality of the player. If you are a calm person, patient by nature, maybe sort of defensive, that is how you will play the game. Your brain will not go to the aggressive moves, attack at all costs. You'll be cautious, you'll be wary, you'll be more positional, you'll look for squares. But if you are a risk taker, someone who doesn't mind putting it all on the line to see exactly what's going to happen, toe-to-toe, fight it out, then you will play chess in that same way. You'll think king first. What are my opportunities? You want to sacrifice a piece or a pawn to get an attack going so that you can just take the person's head off. And I can look at a player after a game or two and say, okay, I got you down. I know who you are in life, not just on the chessboard. I can see your tendencies as a thinker, as a being. That's something you surprise people with when you coach them. In fact, I was just coaching someone last night, and I was pointing out these tendencies in herself, and she was just shocked, like, how'd you figure all that out just from watching me play chess? And she was a beginner at that, but that's just how chess is. It tells you who you are. I could take your rook, but I want to checkmate you. So.
You know, I pretty much absorbed their entire complete works.
In 2014, we interviewed Queens College grad Nashwa El-Sayed, who was kidnapped by her father when she was just 2 years old and taken to Egypt, where she escaped 17 years later.
In my last year of high school, he came into my room and told me that he had found me a husband and that I would be married that summer after graduation.
Nashwa's mother reached out to the FBI and informed them that her daughter was considering suicide rather than being forced into an arranged marriage. The FBI came up with a plan to rescue her.
So at 5 in the morning, I prayed and I put on my shoes, my t-shirt, my jeans, and my hijab, and I ran outside of the door. And the van came and they slowed down, they took me in and they kept driving.
While majoring in international politics, she met Professor Mark Rosenblum, a renowned Middle East expert who became her mentor.
When I was 13, I told my dad, I want to study political science. I think this is my niche. His answer was, politics is for men.
After majoring in international politics, Nashwa became a student activist for the Ibrahim Leadership and Dialogue Project. The program takes students to the Middle East to empower them with more knowledge and understanding of the region, and to be ambassadors of the United States. This was the first time Nashwa had gone back to the Middle East. Since then, a lot has changed. We got on a Skype call with Nashwa from Kuwait.
I got married. I met my husband a couple years back, and we decided to make the move to Kuwait. I am teaching English to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in an American school. It's an amazing opportunity for me to be able to expose them to a different perspective of the world and show them that you can be Arab and American and like open-minded at the same time.
And Nashwa still managed to work with the Ibrahim Student Leadership and Dialogue Program.
Given the political atmosphere in America at the moment and what's going on in the world, I think the Ibrahim program is absolutely essential. These students that go on it, they actually get to experience the true Middle East firsthand. They get to experience the good and the bad, and they get to come back and kind of like debunk all the misconceptions about the Middle East. It is ironic to be back in the Middle East, a place that I've tried so hard to leave, but you know, it's different because, you know, like the Middle East, it will always be a part of me. I will always be half Arab, half Hispanic, and I'm back in the Middle East on my own terms. It has so many opportunities, and I want to be at the forefront of that.
Nashwa wanted to make sure she would be involved in her sisters' lives and decided to meet her father in Egypt.
We're on good terms. I am in my sisters' lives, which is the most important thing for me because I feel like they need a strong feminist voice in these like very gentle years of their lives, and I am this voice for them, and it makes me like extremely proud and happy. When I came back, I found that my sisters have a lot more freedom than I had at their age or at any age. You know, he's trying to like raise them in a way that they don't do the same thing and run away, basically. I think my father sees that I've done really well for myself and for my future, like even though I did defy him. I think he really understands that there's more like for a girl's education and what she can do with her life.
So what's next?
I definitely want to work for the State Department and like help children that have experienced a similar story like mine. I feel like that is my true calling, and I was meant to do this all along. And now it's the time where everyone is very scared of the Middle East and what it has and Syria and all of these things. And I'm really glad that I'm here to kind of show and talk about a different side of the Middle East that is not so dangerous, that's not so difficult to live in, that's not deprived of all the luxuries of the world.
That's our show for today. For more information on any of our shows, check out our website at CUNY.TV or visit our Study with the Best Facebook page. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.